There is a secret so simple, so powerful, it has built empires, and it begins with just 3 words. Stop what you're doing. Listen with every fiber of your being, because what I'm about to share is not a theory, not a hope, not a maybe. It is a law. And when you align yourself with it, when you live it, when you breathe it, money will chase you. Wealth will magnetize to you, not by chance, but by law. Wealth does not begin in the marketplace. It does not start with a job, a strategy, or a lucky break. It begins in one place and one place only, the mind. Before a single dollar ever shows up in your hands, it must first exist in your thoughts. That is where all riches are born. That is the origin of every fortune the world has ever known. And until you grasp this truth with unwavering belief, you will remain a prisoner to circumstances that could have been changed by the sheer force of thought alone. You see, the average person spends their life chasing money, thinking wealth is something out there, something external, something to hunt, something to capture. But that is a lie sold by the world to those who have not yet learned to think. Money is not pursued, it is attracted. And it is only attracted when the mind is trained to expect it, believe in it, and accept it as natural. Wealth is not a destination. It is a reflection of thought, of identity, of mental conditioning, repeated so often that it becomes your truth. Every rich man first saw riches in his imagination. Every empire was built twice. First in the invisible realm of thought, and then in the visible world of action. But the seed was always planted in the mind. You must understand this. Your bank account is the echo of your inner beliefs. If your mind is full of scarcity, your results will shrink. If your mind is charged with prosperity, your results will expand. The world is not keeping money from you. Your thinking is. Look around. 2 people can live in the same city, face the same challenges, have the same opportunities, and yet one thrives while the other barely survives. What's the difference? It is not luck, it is not talent, it is not education, it is mental wiring. One has decided to think wealth. The other continues to think struggle. And so they receive what their thoughts command. Thought is the only real power you possess. And when you begin to control your thoughts, you begin to control your reality. You can be surrounded by debt, by bills, by doubt, and still start building a fortune if your mind begins to accept that wealth is your right, your destiny, your identity. But that shift will never happen by accident. It happens by conscious, relentless discipline. You must take control of what you say to yourself. You must train your mind to reject limitation, to reject fear, to reject every belief that tells you wealth is for others. The world is full of people who work hard, but only the few who think right ever see extraordinary success. It is not what you do that determines your future, it is what you believe while you do it. Thoughts are the blueprint, the foundation, the architect of everything you will ever experience. Plant the seed of wealth in your mind, and the fruits will appear, not instantly, but inevitably. The law is real. It does not ask for your belief, your permission, or your approval. It operates silently, consistently, and without error. Just as gravity pulls with precision, the law of attraction moves with unshakable force. But here's the truth few ever understand. It is not based on your wishes, your hopes, or your prayers. It responds to one thing and one thing only: who you are, what you feel, and what you consistently think. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is not philosophy, this is not theory, this is a law. And those who learn to harness it become unstoppable. Look around. Most people beg life to change while never changing themselves. They speak of what they want, but they live in fear. They dream of wealth, but they dwell in lack. They write goals on paper, but contradict them with every thought that passes through their minds. And then they wonder why nothing shifts. The law does not respond to wishful words. It responds to energy, identity, belief. It obeys the vibration you hold, not the noise you speak. When you walk into a room believing you are worthy, opportunity feels that. When you wake up with a sense of purpose, doors begin to open. When your mind is locked on abundance and your heart refuses to entertain doubt, the law begins to bend reality in your favor. But if you carry contradiction, if you ask for wealth while feeling unworthy of it, if you speak success but expect failure, you short-circuit the process. You cannot fool the law. You cannot fake alignment. It is exact. It is honest, and it gives back to you exactly what you are radiating out into the world. That's why the law seems to work like magic for some and never at all for others. It's not magic, it's math. It's the outcome of inner alignment. The world outside is just a mirror. It reflects the frequency of your dominant state. If you live in the mindset of fear, it'll show you more things to fear. If you wake up in gratitude, you'll be given more to be grateful for. If you hold a firm, immovable belief that you are wealth, that you are success, that you are power, life will eventually catch up to that image. The law will see to it. So you must become what you seek. That is the golden key. You cannot sit still and chant riches into your lap while your mind screams poverty. You must transform your inner state, rewire your thoughts, reprogram your expectations, speak, act, walk, breathe as though it's already done, because to the law it is done. The moment you believe, the moment you shift, the moment you decide that no outside condition holds more power than the thoughts you choose every single day, that's when the law begins to move. That's when unseen forces arrange themselves in your favor. And that's when money, opportunity, and miracles begin to flow, not by force, but by design. Your identity is the master key to wealth, not your education, not your job, not your circumstances. Your identity, who you believe yourself to be, determines what you allow into your life. And until you change the image you hold of yourself, no external change will ever last. You can work harder, chase more opportunities, read more books, but if your self-image is built on lack, struggle, and limitation, you will sabotage every breakthrough that comes your way. Because deep down, you don't believe you deserve it. Listen carefully. The world does not pay you according to what you want. It pays you according to what you are. Your results are a mirror reflecting the inner conversation you've been repeating to yourself day after day, year after year. If you constantly say, I'm broke, you are wiring your subconscious to ensure you remain that way. If you tell yourself, money is hard to get, your actions will align with that belief and you will repel wealth at every turn. But if you begin to say with conviction, I am wealth, your mind will start seeking ways to prove it true. This is not fantasy. This is how the mind works. It obeys what you impress upon it with emotion and repetition. Identity is built through repetition. And most people are repeating failure, not because they want to, but because it's familiar. They've lived so long inside an identity of limitation that anything else feels fake, even if it's more powerful. So the cycle continues. They desire success, but they identify with struggle, and the mind always wins. You must break that pattern. You must stand in front of the mirror and declare, not whisper, who you really are. I am wealth. Say it not because it's true now, but because it must become true, because your life cannot rise higher than the standards of your identity. When you say, I am wealth, you are planting a new identity. And when you repeat it enough, with certainty, your mind begins to shift. Your decisions change, your posture changes, the way you speak, act, and show up in the world, all of it evolves. You will stop accepting less. You will stop tolerating environments that insult your vision. You will stop entertaining relationships that drain your power. Why? Because you no longer identify as a victim of circumstance. You identify as wealth. And wealth does not beg. Wealth does not chase. Wealth does not settle. It chooses. It commands. It creates. This is the transformation that changes everything. You don't need to chase money. You need to become the kind of person who attracts it. And that starts with a new identity. Say it. Repeat it. Live it. I am wealth. Speak it until every cell in your body believes it. Because once your identity is aligned with abundance, your actions will follow, and your results will have no choice but to rise and meet the new standard. 3 words. That's all it takes to begin rewriting your destiny. Not 10, not 20, just 3. But not just any words. These are words of power, words that carry vibration, words that carry creation. When spoken with belief, with fire, with relentless conviction, they activate something deep within you, something ancient, something magnetic. These 3 words are not a suggestion, they are a command. They are a declaration. And if you speak them daily, if you plant them into your subconscious like a seed, they will grow into a life of abundance, power, and unstoppable prosperity. I am wealth. Say them out loud right now. Not timidly, not casually. Say them like your future depends on it, because it does. These words are not about pretending. They are not about faking. They are about aligning. They are about declaring to the universe, your subconscious mind, to every ounce of energy around you, this is who I am. Because once you speak it, believe it, and act from it, your world must begin to reflect it. The law guarantees it. Most people walk through life declaring their limitations. I'm broke. I'm tired. I can't afford that. And they don't realize that their words are not just observations. They are commands to the subconscious mind. Every time you speak of lack, you reinforce lack. Every time you say you can't, you program your reality to obey that instruction. Your mind listens, your reality listens, and it bends to the frequency of your words. So you must choose your words like a sculptor chooses his tools. Speak only what you intend to create. Speak only what you want repeated in your life. And there is no phrase more powerful to shape a new future than I am wealth. These 3 words carry the essence of transformation. They do not describe a condition. They declare an identity. And identity is where all change begins. When you repeat these words, you are not lying to yourself. You are awakening your true nature, the part of you that was never meant for struggle, never meant for scarcity. You are reminding your spirit of what it already knows, that you are born to live in power, to walk in abundance, to attract resources, not chase them. But repetition is key. You must drill these words into your mind with the precision of a master builder laying brick, daily, without fail, without exception. Well, in the beginning, it may feel strange. Your current reality might not reflect wealth. Your circumstances may scream otherwise. But that is exactly why you must speak them. Because you are not speaking to describe what is, you are speaking to create what will be. You are casting a vote for the future you deserve. You are programming your mind to expect wealth, and expectation is the birthplace of manifestation. Say it again. I am wealth. Say it when you rise. Say it when fear whispers. Say it when nothing makes sense. Say it until it becomes the only voice in your head, because when these 3 words become your internal truth, life will reorganize itself around your new identity. Words alone mean nothing without emotion. You can say, I am wealth 1,000 times, but if your heart is empty and your energy is low, you're not speaking truth. You're echoing noise. The universe does not respond to words. It responds to vibration. And emotion is what fuels that vibration. Emotion is what gives your words their charge, their power, their life. Without emotion, your affirmations are lifeless. With emotion, they become unstoppable. Understand this. Your subconscious mind is not activated by logic. It doesn't respond to facts. It responds to feeling. It listens to the energy behind the words. That's why when you say something with conviction, with intensity, with absolute belief, your entire nervous system reacts. Your body straightens, your heart rate changes, your breathing deepens. That's when you are no longer speaking about wealth, you are speaking as wealth. And that shift is the gateway to transformation. Every great change in your life begins with emotion, not with a thought, not with a plan, with a fire inside you that said, enough is enough, or now is my time. That fire is not weak, that fire is not subtle, and it must be reignited every single day if you are serious about changing your life. You must feel the words, I am wealth, in your bones. You must speak them until you're vibrating on a level that repels fear and attracts power. The difference between a whisper and a roar is the emotion behind it. And your life will mirror the volume of your inner voice. When you charge your words with emotion, something incredible happens. You reprogram the subconscious mind faster. You bypass resistance. You create momentum. Your belief strengthens, your confidence builds, and the gap between who you are and who you're becoming begins to disappear. The old voice that said, you're not enough, you can't do it, you'll always struggle, gets drowned out by a new dominant frequency that says, I was born for abundance, and I expect success. I attract wealth because I am wealth. And this isn't about temporary hype. This is about emotional repetition with precision. You must turn your affirmations into rituals, rituals with passion, rituals with fire. Say it while looking in the mirror. Say it while moving. Say it with your chest open and your head high. Don't say it like a question. Say it like a command. I am wealth. Not just once, again, and again, and again, until you don't just say it. You become it. This is how you change your frequency. This is how you activate the law. This is how you align your inner world with the results you want. Emotion is the engine. Emotion is the magnet. Emotion is the signal that tells the universe this is real. So bring the fire. Bring the intensity. Say it like your life depends on it, because it does. When you combine powerful words with powerful emotion, you unleash a force no obstacle can stop. Money does not respond to effort alone. It does not bow to struggle, to sweat, or to sleepless nights, unless they are aligned with belief, purpose, and precision. The world is full of people grinding every day, working hard, sacrificing time, burning energy, and yet still falling short, still drowning in lack. Why? Because they are misaligned. Their effort is real, but their mindset is off. Their actions scream success, but their beliefs whisper failure. And until those two forces are brought into harmony, money will not flow, not consistently, not powerfully, not effortlessly. Effort without alignment is struggle. It's pushing a boulder uphill only to watch it roll back down. But when your thoughts, emotions, and identity are all in sync, when you believe in your wealth, feel your wealth, and speak your wealth, then even your smallest actions become magnetic. Suddenly, what used to feel impossible becomes natural. Doors begin to open without force. Opportunities show up without warning. That's not luck. That's alignment. That's power. You've been told that hard work is the answer. And yes, hard work matters, but hard work built on fear, built on lack, built on the identity of I'm not there yet, only leads to exhaustion. You don't get rich from hustle alone. You get rich from alignment. When the frequency of your belief matches the level of wealth you desire, that's when money moves. That's when it flows. Because money is energy. It responds to vibration, not desperation. Most people are out of sync. They work with their hands while doubting in their minds. They chase success while carrying thoughts of unworthiness. They speak goals, but their identity is rooted in lack. So their results are chaotic, inconsistent, frustrating, but the moment you align, when your belief is firm, your emotions are elevated, and your identity is locked in, you shift into a new mode of living. You stop chasing money, and money starts chasing you. Action without belief is motion without momentum. But belief alone is not enough either. It must be followed by action that flows from that belief. That's alignment. That's when the universe responds with speed. When your inner world and your outer actions speak the same language, your results explode. People feel it. Circumstances shift. Synchronicities multiply. And what once took years begins to happen in weeks, in days, in moments. You must stop glorifying struggle and start mastering alignment. You are not here to crawl through life hoping for a break. You are here to align with your power, to become the kind of person who expects wealth, attracts wealth, lives in the vibration of wealth, and takes bold, precise action from that state. That is the formula. That is the frequency. You don't have to fight for success. You don't have to force money to come when your mind is already a magnet for it. Alignment creates ease. Alignment creates flow. Alignment brings results that effort alone cannot touch. So yes, act, move, build, but do it from belief. Do it from certainty. Do it from the powerful inner knowing that wealth is already yours. And watch how fast the world delivers. Repetition is the tool of mastery, not talent, not luck, repetition. It is the secret behind every transformation, the fuel behind every breakthrough, the force that reprograms the subconscious mind and reshapes your entire destiny. You do not become wealthy by thinking a thought once. You do not transform your identity with a single decision. You become who you declare yourself to be by saying it, thinking it, breathing it, living it, over and over and over again. Repetition is how the old story dies and the new reality is born. Now, the subconscious mind is a servant. It does not judge, it does not argue, it does not filter truth from fiction. It accepts what you give it most often. If you feed it doubt, it will create fear. If you feed it lack, it will generate poverty. If you feed it power, it will build belief. This is not theory. This is law. Your dominant thoughts become your dominant reality. And repetition is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. You must stop speaking words of defeat and then expecting victory. Stop saying, I'm tired, I'm broke, it's hard, and wondering why your life reflects exactly that. Every word you repeat becomes an instruction to your mind, and your mind, once instructed, will seek to fulfill that pattern. But here's the power. You can rewrite that instruction. You can speak life instead of death, power instead of weakness, wealth instead of struggle. And when you do it consistently, relentlessly, unshakably, you change the entire course of your life. Say it, I am wealth. Again, louder, with belief. Not once, not twice, but until your mind bends, until your reality obeys, until your thoughts stop defaulting to fear and start flowing with power. Repetition is not about hype. It is about reconditioning. It is how you burn the truth into your nervous system until it becomes automatic, until you no longer try to believe it. You simply do. You walk it, talk it, own it. The greatest enemy is inconsistency. Most people speak power one day, then collapse into doubt the next. They affirm abundance in the morning, then speak struggle all afternoon. That back and forth keeps them stuck. But if you repeat the right words day in, day out, without fail, you will override the noise, you will override the programming, you will override every limitation that's ever held you back. Repetition rewires the mind. It resets your default. It rebuilds your inner standard. And once that standard rises, life must rise with it. This is how you become unshakable. Not by hoping, not by wishing, but by drilling the truth into your subconscious. With so much consistency, the old identity has no place left to live. Speak it when you don't feel it. Speak it when it looks like it's not working. Speak it until your outer world bows to your inner command. Because when your repetition is backed by emotion, intention, and belief, you will create a force that cannot be denied. Say it again. I am wealth. And keep saying it until the universe echoes back, yes, you are. Now is the time to stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop doubting. The power has always been in your hands. 3 simple words, repeated with faith, with emotion, with unstoppable consistency. I am well. These are not just words. They are the blueprint for a new identity, an identity that commands success, attracts prosperity, and lives in alignment with the laws that govern abundance. The moment you stop speaking as the person you were and start declaring the person you are becoming, everything shifts. This is not a theory, this is a call to action. You don't need more time, you don't need more luck. You need to decide. You need to take hold of this truth and imprint it on your soul until your thoughts, your actions, and your results are all speaking the same language. Stand tall, look yourself in the eye, say it like your life depends on it, because it does. I am wealth. Speak it into the silence, speak it through the struggle, speak it until the walls of limitation collapse beneath the weight of your new belief. This is your turning point. This is your line in the sand. The old you is gone. The new you speaks power. The new you moves in certainty. The new you is well. Now go, and don't whisper it. Roar it. Don't hope for it. Own it. Let the world feel the fire of your declaration. Let the universe respond to the authority in your voice. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer waiting on money. Money is coming for you.